Hello to everyone. Thanks to all of you guys that you have filled the survey form, because I could see what are the questions that you are interested in, and actually those questions I didn't write myself. I take from the answer the public from Google. So that means that those questions are in the mind of many people, and somebody needs to ask them. And when I was checking, I was interested in them as well, but I have been for the last more than 30 years study, so I know that I can answer those questions. And I put all of them together, and I select half of them, and I put into three groups. Then they answer what I will say the ground, the path, and the fruit of all Buddhist structure, from the sutras, tantras, and the dzogchen. So also some people they asking like, which is normal and is fair enough, who am, what is my intention, what I try to teach, and how I try to deliver that, And for this, I will do a small introduction, even then I have done that introduction in another video, but probably you don't have, or I will put a link there that you can have. But basically, I am a Western person, and I was interested in answering the questions of the purpose, the meaning of life, and who am I, where I'm coming from, and where I go. And I went through all Buddhist, philosophies and psychology and cosmology. And that time, then they were in the West, they were the Zen Buddhist, Zen, Koan Zen. Then it was Krishnamurti also thought, and then I was into it too. Then there was the Tibetan Buddhism around, and I was spending years in Spain, in England, studying in different traditions and schools, and what happens sometimes, between them, this kind of argue who is better, who is deeper, who is more authentic, and all these kind of things, So until I realized that it was some kind of confusion from the message of the Buddha to this kind of dynamics that he comes, And then I end just myself saying, look, go to India and to the Himalaya of Nepal and over these areas, and find the teachers there and make the quest direct, to them, And I went. This is almost 30 years ago. So then I went and I did a pilgrimage in India, and then to the holy places of the enlightenment, and then I went to Nepal, where the Buddha was born, and then I was to Bodhanath actually, and anyway, and then the Tibetans, they are there, certainly around the Bodhanath, exile from Tibet, the situation, and then I found a teacher, that probably he was living up in the mountains in Agigomba. He was giving what is called meditation instructions, Tibetan instructions, and I was curious and I wanted to know this. I was studying already and I was ready for that, So he gives sometimes open, he was in retreat, but he opens for those who were ready and interested to go. So then I went up and I went hill up on the mountains, and I reached there on the morning, and then he was there with his translator. He opened for us, those who were there, and he gave the point out instructions and meditation instructions, to how to understand the true essential nature of the mind, with a very simple form. Actually, I was very surprised at the great simplicity of this teacher. I will say he is the embodiment of great simplicity. So, and I was really devoted. I said, wow, that's really a nice, gentle teacher, and the way he delivered the teachings was amazing. And I was open-hearted, and I got that. And then in one moment, he realized that I was smiling and I was, I don't know, in some state of meditation. And then he wanted to know for sure. Then I got it. Then he asked me a few questions. And then when I answered that question, then he realized that I knew what I was answering. And then he smiled and lived like a good, very good, nice. So then ending the day, and then I come down to the hills, back to my room in Bauda, and then my mind, my heart actually, breaks, boom, or split or into brightness, And I will call like a awareness display, because I was, without needed of thinking myself, I was I would say realize the meaning and things, and unbelievable, So then just I was going and keeping this state, and when I reach my room, I write down all these things that come spontaneous from my mind, and it was so beautiful, so nice, And then after some time, after when the translator came down to Bauda from the mountains, I went to see him. You know him, the teacher, is Turko again, and his translator, Eric Pema. So then I went to see him and I said, look, you remember that day I was there? Yeah. And then look, on the way back, it comes like this, and I write all this. Can you check, please? Yeah, he checked and said, wow, that's nice. This is really, really nice. Anyway, keep there. So I keep, and I have those teachings too. So just to say that I have a lineage from Turko Ulken on the meditation instructions. I have a lineage even deeper than this, because this is a treasure from the mind. So I have a treasure lineage as well. And I have another lineages that it is not a point, because now what I am interested in is in this particular, because what I want to see is if this is coming, I will say if it's original from the Buddha to Padmasambhava, which I believe, the lineage of Padmasambhava in the Dzogchen, and I found it is. I found the story of the Buddha Sakyamuni giving the teachings, giving the point out instructions, heart to one yogi who came from the other side of India. It takes 1 month to cross India by walk. They are probably more than 1,000 or 2,000 kilometers. Yeah, to see the Buddha, to request for the heart essence of his teachings. The Buddha was walking on arms, asking for give the people, begging for food, and he asked 3 times to him, please give me the Dharma. And that particular situation means give me the essence of your teachings. And the Buddha was saying, but it's not a time for teachings. But please, give me the essence of your teachings, because I can die in any moment. So the Buddha, out of compassion and see that he was in urgent, and then he really was determined, and he was ready. He was a yogi who had been meditate, and something was missing in his state. So then he gave the essence of the teachings in few words. I will not get into them because it's long, but basically what he says is in the connection stage and all perceptions, they should be only perception. That means beyond subject and object. That connection is empty connection. And that is why the essence of Dzogchen is about, and the Buddha, the Padmasambhava transmit the Dzogchen like this. And Turko can give this transmission like this. So you can have a track from here, directly from the Buddha himself to mind transmission from you know, and to Padmasambhava, and Padmasambhava oral lineage to Turko-Urgen, and Turko-Urgen come to me. I mean, again, so the circle is closing, you know. So there is a lineage from the Buddha Sakyamuni himself about Dzogchen. Anyway, the Perfection Wisdom Sutra is another aspect where the Buddha, in his state of profound illumination, he transmit that had a sense against to his emanation, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokitesvara, the one who see the world with a compassion eyes. And it's the same. He dissolved in his mind in the state of the perfection state, and he realized that the aggregates or the form, they are empty, you know that. So then this is another way of transmission, you know, the magic aspect of the transmission. Yeah. Anyway, so in the previous video I explained a little bit, but basically what it means here in the Perfection Wisdom is that these aggregates, the form, is essentially empty of independent attributes. They have no self attributes, so there is no self, and this is what the sutra is about. But when you go to the second formula, the emptiness is form, yeah, this emptiness is emptiness with attributes, the attributes of the Buddha mind. Otherwise, we couldn't be, we couldn't have cognition. Yeah, so then we have these two formulas, the wisdom and compassion, the method and wisdom, which are beyond the duality or the nihilism, of nihilism and eternalism. So the first one breaks the nihilism. Yeah, no, the first one, the form is emptiness, it breaks the eternalism, and the second formula breaks the nihilism. And this is called the middle path. And this is the path which is going straight from here up to the tantras, because these two together, it makes the clear light mind of bliss, the connection aspect, yeah, and the emptiness, the wisdom, together, and they are inseparable. You cannot separate this formula. Once you have realized both sides, you cannot separate. If you try to separate this by analyze and say it's only emptiness, you are gone already too far. Means that is conceptual emptiness, that is not true emptiness, because the truth is inseparable. The truth is inseparable of the clear mind of bliss, and this is the tantra aspect. Yeah, so this needs to be clear anyway. Just if you want to understand, and I have a lineage, and I know I'm talking about to give confidence to you. Anyway, so what I did with the teachings, I structure in a way that those answers, it will answer, I put into three groups. One that will be sutra, I call ground, the ground of Buddhism. The other is tantra, which is called path, the path of development, yeah. And the other is Dzogchen, which I call the fruit. And I will deliver this one video a week for the last, for the next 3 months, yeah, touching all the aspects of the 16 questions then on these aspects, ground, path, and fruit, yeah. And what is my intention of doing this? Actually, after this initiation, this introduction and this thing happens in Bauda, I went to see the place where Padmasambhava was born, and I make a research, and I spent many years in research up here and there, exploring, and I found a place of Padmasambhava, the lake where he originally was born. And then there, I won't get into the details how I did and this, because it's a long story that I will explain later on. So, but basically I got the place, the lake, the stupa around, I make a document, I went to check with few people who was living there at that time, a Western guy, and all together, I put together, and then I brought to His Holiness Dalai Lama to verify, and I showed a picture of the lake and everything, and when he saw that, he was surprised that wow, I heard many times, he said, I saw many times then this was in Pakistan and the northwest of India and the ancient India and this, but I never saw pictures and this and that. So he encouraged me to write a book, a guidebook for the Tibetans, and I can go there. But because the prophecies, then what happens is that there were prophecies around that time, this is 20 years ago, about in the lake. It's open on the sky, and they come a prophecy with somebody, a Lama meditating in Tibet, saw and wrote a prophecy a few decades before, pointing out exactly the place, with describe that place, and says that something is going to happen before the Dzogchen is coming to the west. Something is going to happen. And what is going to happen, accordingly to the prophecy, as I interpret myself, is that it's going to be a war, earthquake, flood. And then I saw that, and I told the people we can not continue. And then it happens, actually. When I get out, the Taliban, they come and they destroy Bamiyan, and then it comes... after that, then it comes an earthquake on this side of Kashmir area and northwest of Pakistan. Then afterwards, they come a flood and affects 8 million people in Pakistan because the 5 rivers, the Punjab, So the prophecy was fulfilled until now. But still now, because of the COVID-19 and this, is still... even then I have groups, because my thing, I bring groups on the Himalayas and on the pilgrimage, on the Buddhist places, in India, Nepal, and Pakistan, and we could not go, So then now, in this time, then I am here, I am living this time in New Zealand, and temporarily, because I married in Nepal with a Tibetan Nepali woman, and is supporting me, and we are also in the teachings, and we are trying to get this together. So I thought the best thing I can give is this free kick-started course for the people, so that they can figure out and get a big picture of what Buddhism is about. And then after, in the future, when they come in India or in Nepal and in the Himalayas, they can understand what is all this about, and they can give anyway, temporarily they can give purpose and meaning of life, because this is what Buddhism is all about, The Buddhist, basically, the purpose and meaning of life is do good, avoid evil, and tame your mind. That is the purpose of life. So basically it's this, and then, of course, once you get the meaning, you need to continue to develop on this stage, meditation and this will go through all these things. And then this is my gift to you guys as a thanks, and in the end, those who keeps to the end, I will make a little questionnaire on the end, and the ones who answer and they understood the full thing, they will get the book. I will give free the book on the end. I mean the digital workbook to them. So let's go together and this challenge together and learn together. And this is a meaningful way of going through life, getting wisdom and compassion in our inner mind. So I hope you understand, and I hope this is clear for you too. And then if you are interested in these spontaneous teachings, then you write down your email, your contacts, and I will contact you, and then I will deliver the other video the next week, which the title will be the more higher rate of the question, which is, what is the Buddhist belief? And then I have I will prepare this and I will spontaneously deliver and give to you on the next video. So I hope you keep well. Yeah. Until then, next time, and see you again, my friends.